Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Psychic Tarot Show. You're joining me here live for a weekly forecast, looking at what the tarot cards have to say about this upcoming week. Gosh, taking us right up till Valentine's Day. So, what is in store for us collectively? We're going to be tuning our energy in together to get a really good read on what's around the corner. Last week, there was some pretty intense cards, and I'd love to hear from all of you how that showed up in your lives. I know there was many ways that it showed up in my life. So before we get started, of course, as always, some of you are over here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. And if you're not already, please remember to go there, like, share, and subscribe. And many of you are tuning in on the Beyond Mystic Rumble channel. There's some exclusive content that's only available on Rumble. So if you haven't joined there, please follow us on Rumble. And you can find me on the Beyond Mystic consultations page, where you can book a 1-hour psychic tarot reading with me. There's some openings in this next couple of weeks, so I encourage you. Oh, there we go. I encourage you to jump on and use the coupon code below if you'd like to schedule a session with me. Hello, so many familiar faces. Early Morn, Rye Newbie, Michael Chartel. Yeah, I'm excited too. Mary Jane's, Angela. Gosh, so many lovely friends here. Annapuria, Sasquatch people, woo, Oracle 911. Oh, I could just read and read and read. And you're tuning in from all over the place. It's so beautiful to feel your presence. It lights me up. So let's get started. Tuning in collectively, I'll bring up the cards here and we shall look and see what is in store for us this week. I know for me, last week, I felt as though, in fact, I think I might even want to pull some cards before we get started to ask this question. I felt like, based on that interpretation, on that forecast from last week, that we had a timeline upgrade, because it looked like things could really go sideways, or there could be some very big, intense energies. Look at that. Look what's on the bottom. And it felt as though it wasn't quite as ominous as what we saw in our prediction. I'm going to shuffle this way this time so that you can see all the cards that I'm playing with. A full deck here. Most of the time, ASHALA is playing with a full deck. So Vanessa's asking, I wonder what the cards say about air travel in March. I think air travel is a good question just generally, so we can take a peek at that as well, or ask that to come into our overview. There's places where it would show up, which would be in the house of Sagittarius related to travel. So we can ask for some insight to come in there. But before we do, I want to ask about last week. I want to get a sense of, did we dodge a bullet last week? Because, as I said, it left us with a bit of a cliffhanger. Yeah, this is us collectively holding it together and really, well, here, for example, you know, this card has a lot of weather. It has a lot of temptations, a lot of, I want to say, distractions, things that are creating illusion and lack of clarity for us. And it can also indicate troublesome weather. We have had that toxic fog here for weeks now, but the last 10 days have been particularly thick with fog. So there is this sense of like we're maneuvering through a foggy landscape. And yet we've done very well, I believe. So did we dodge a bullet? Have we internalized something that we are attempting to internalize and metabolize something that we're picking up? Because this is being very psychically sensitive as well. These are old hurts. Let's see what the middle cards say. Past, present, and potential future. Yeah, so we're not out of the woods yet, but it's actually more, these aren't big psychos. These are little irritations, little, those cords that trip you up. So cutting cords with things from the past. We have just a few days left, really, just over a week left in this Chinese wood snake year. And boy, get out your pruning shears and cut those cords. Feels really important. Yeah, I do feel that we sent some timeline, we upgraded it. Yes, look at that. And we're going to be tested again within the next 5 days. So there's going to be disruptions. There's going to be, but the bark is worse than the bite, is what I'm hearing. So pay attention this week. If there's disruptions, there's scheduled disruptions, and yet they're not big disruptions. They're adjustments. Things are not disappearing. They're transitioning. There's an adjustment period, but in the long run, it looks brighter than usual. So I like that because I wanted to know what happened last week. Okay. Starting from today now. Yes, and Anna Puria is saying, on the last day of this past week, I had a huge unexpected disappointment. Isn't it interesting how the cards just reflected that these disappointments that could seem like they're huge and life-altering may just be bumps or delays in the road or slight detours. They may not be as huge as they appear on the surface. So let's keep that in mind. Take everything with a grain of salt this week, folks. And let's have a look at our overview. Early Morn is saying, playing with a full deck. You made me belly laugh, ASHALA. Good. I'm glad. Belly laughs are good for us. Yep. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Leonage saying, I felt timeline disruptions all week and saw things that were super cool. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Let's begin with, wow. Wow. There's reason to celebrate. 10 of Cups is over the moon. It's over the rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow. Dreams really do come true. There's a sense of optimism. We're starting, and it's not in the mind, it's in the feeling realm. In the feeling realm, there is a sense that dreams really do come true. Oh, boom. Love is in the air. February, Valentine's Day. Oh, Valentine's Day. It's a very interesting holiday. I feel there is always something powerful when Valentine's Day and the Chinese New Year fall close together, which they do this year. They're 3 days apart. And it's like a dynamo because the Chinese New Year is all about renewal and new beginnings. And it is very lucky. It's very auspicious. It's very much connected to love, relationships, finding your soulmate. That kind of thing is connected to Chinese New Year. And everyone is what was it, gung ho fat choi, or however you say it, but it's a lot about prosperity and love and good fortune that you're wishing everyone. And this year, Valentine's Day, because sometimes Chinese New Year happens in January, even the middle of January. Sometimes it's all way over and done by the time we get to Valentine's Day. This year, they're so close. So there's a real sense of love, double whammy. So things aren't necessarily what they seem. If things look disappointing, but you feel hopeful, stay in that hopeful feeling. All right. Yes, your mind needs a break. I know mine sure does, usually. Your mind needs to have a little time out and go have a nap. Lots of naps this week, by the way, especially I want to say mental naps. So what does mental naps mean to me? It means where we do something that takes us out of thinking. It could be doing some repetitive motion thing or an activity that you get lost in. I know Crystal loves to do puzzles. She gets totally absorbed and lost in doing puzzles. I like reading good novels. I read a lot of kind of research material. I'm very brainiac like that. And to give my mind a rest, I like to read, really good novels. Not necessarily like romance novels or high fantasy or anything like that, but something that's very well-rounded and has a lot of different aspects, a little bit of history, a little bit of love, lots of good characters, very engaging. So giving your brain something to do that takes you away from being on the screen, that takes you away from your usual thoughts is good. Obviously, meditation is ideal as well. So the brain is getting a little rest. Wow. Good. Queen of Pentacles in the house of Cancer. Cancer is home, it's family, it's our relationship to our moms, our mothers. If we are mothers, it's us as a mother. Queen of Pentacles is the well-resourced queen. She has plenty to spare. She's very generous. So this could be something this week where you maybe host a dinner party at your home because it's in the home and you're wanting to share your home in a good way. So you're inviting a love interest over for dinner, or maybe you are inviting friends, family members. It feels like hosting something in your home that is about sharing the abundance of what you have. Yeah. Aw. John says, I like sewing. I'm fixing my sleeping bag. Whatever works, right? If it takes your mind off of things and just lets you go into the zone, that's great. And I don't have to be told twice to nap, right? May it be so for all of us. Yeah. So, Leo, so far, we're really off to a nice start. It makes me feel like we've earned something after last week. We really moved energy last week. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh. The Queen and the King of Pentacles side by side in home and in Leo with love in Taurus. Seriously, folks, partnership and love is in the air. He's magnetic and she's magnetic, and they are about divine union. And this is happily ever after. I mean, we got a little fairy tale going on here. But you know what? The beautiful part of the Queen and the King of Pentacles is that they're really practical in how they love. They actually really show up. Their love isn't selfish, it's generous, and they want to do something. Like it's not just about two people getting lost in each other. It's about two people that combine their forces, and together they're more powerful and they can do good things in the world. So this is the kind of partnership that's being sort of magnetized in. Leo is also about romance. In the old-fashioned tarot, you can check in with Janine about this. We used to say in the old way that people read tarot years ago, if a woman was asking about love and the King of Pentacles showed up in her spread, in her reading, that meant that he was her ideal man, her ideal mate. You know, they used to say tall, dark, and handsome or whatever, right? So King of Pentacles was the ideal partner for a woman, and Queen of Pentacles was the ideal partner for a man. So the feminine version and the masculine version right together. Interesting. And then we have reciprocity and generosity. So, you know, this translates into when we have abundance of love and harmony and relationships and sharing and generosity, we also have an abundance of finances. It's sort of like a frequency that brings better versions of 3D reality. So you may find this week that it's easier to, I want to say, magnetize finances, resources. So this could be that we're seeing a lot of good return on our metals this week. You know, it might even mean, because I often say that this gold sword and the 3 silver swords relates to metals. We have alchemy in the house of money. So we could see balance coming into the ratio between gold and silver. Silver could be rising to come into a more reasonable ratio with gold, but gold is also rising. So our metals are improving this week, and we've all known, I mean, everybody knows it in our community. It was a lot about shaking the tree and trying to get everybody to sell. That's why the prices dropped, but they're bouncing back and just going to continue to rise over the next 6 weeks. Okay. 9 of Wands in Libra. So even though we have love and partnership, and I wouldn't call it super romance, it's more practical love. We don't have people making big decisions or big commitments in relationships over this next couple of weeks. It's almost like we're really gathering our, getting to know, if you're meeting someone new, you're getting to know them really well, or if you're making a big decision about an existing relationship, you're taking some time to really take stock of things and not make hasty decisions. Yeah, it feels like all is not as it seems, and we will need to not jump to conclusions. 9 of Wands is the synthesis. It's like the resume card. It's about gathering all the evidence from the past and just mulling it over. We're not decisively going in a new direction yet. But we could be looking at making big changes around even what our plans are with relationship. Old ways of being in relationship are kind of outmoded. And a lot of people are designing new styles of relationship that aren't necessarily about open, non-committal relationship, but they are about more sovereignty and freedom to make decisions and have personal autonomy in your choices. So, yeah, no majors yet. Very good point. So, Sasquatch people is referring to the fact that we don't have any major arcana yet. And that's kind of back to a week like we had a few weeks back where we had one with very few major arcana. What does it mean? Yeah. What does this mean? Well, the minor arcana cards are purposeful, practical, but there's not as much heavy spiritual work. So last week we had quite a lot more heavy spiritual work. This week so far, especially in the lower half of our wheel, which represents kind of like home base, the inner self, the inner life. These zodiac signs on the bottom are more about the inner life, and on the top, they're more about the outer life. So, yes, let's keep going and see. Ace of Cups. Wow, another relationship card. Isn't this fascinating? I mean, you saw me shuffling, and those of you that know the tarot know I'm not just, designing this in my head. There's really a lot about love here. Especially because this Two of Cups is across from the Ace of Cups and Scorpio. Scorpio, death and rebirth. Ace of Cups, unconditional love, renewal of love, renewal of opening our hearts. The heart is flowing, overflowing unconditionally. A new type of relationship is being birthed. Wow. A card just flew off of here. Okay. So we've got our first major arcana, and he is showing up. Remember, we were going to ask about flights and air traffic in March. You remember that was a question, and I said, we'll see what turns up in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the house that relates to travel. And I said, we'll see. Okay. So we have our emperor there. He's the number 4. He's across from another 4 of swords. So there could be delays or things could be held up till the last minute, but it does feel like we get a go ahead. The emperor is also very militaristic. So there could be some military maneuvers and also military, like presence in the airports. And we'll see what is beside him on the other side. But having this Ace of Cups here, it feels quite positive. It doesn't feel negative. So let's see what is on the other side. Oh, travel. A travel card up in Capricorn. Yeah. So my sense is that there's travel is not stopping, but it's being sort of narrowed or restricted to a certain degree. In some places, as much as 70%, in a lot of places, as much as 40%. But there's not a goal to completely block it. It is to kind of maybe streamline it. And I do feel like there are military movements happening globally, but it does feel like, for the most part, it's a positive, establishing a positive military presence. So I guess that's more like white hat operation. Okay, in Aquarius has to do with our networks, our friends, our social life. So it feels like we're not necessarily going to be super social. Um, and also, even with these romantic possibilities, they are not fast moving. You know, the Queen and King of Pentacles are the slowest, steadiest. They're the earth sign court cards, so they move very slowly. And this is a bit of a stalemate, or things are on hold around these relationships. So we have a little bit of things on hold with travel, but not stopped, but streamlined, and maybe, you know, yeah, just a little bit of delay and streamlining. And same thing is happening in the incoming realm with relationships and partnerships. Interestingly, even money, even the money flow. So if we think about the flow of love, the flow of, airplanes and travel, and then the flow of finances, the prices, the market prices for gold and silver and so on, everything is being streamlined. So it's not going to go too fast, but it's not going to stop or, explode or something. So everything is kind of being pushed through a more narrow channel, and it's slowing down, which is probably good. So if you're, in the romantic realm, interested in somebody, and I don't usually do romantic readings, by the way. I think most of you know that, but hey, it is Valentine's week and it is coming up for some people. So I'm just going to throw it out there that it does feel like there's waiting. There's connection, and then wait, and then connect, and then wait. But don't be discouraged by that, because remember, we're taking our time to make decisions. Yeah. Okay. Next card. Okay, so right now, by the way, too, we have two major arcanas, one in Capricorn. Capricorn is our highest potential purpose, self-actualization. We are continuing. Remember that Seven of Cups that we saw, which was getting through the timeline adjustments? We're still doing that for another 6 or 7 weeks. Just keep going. Keep going. Don't get distracted. Stay in gear. Stay on track, slow and steady. And then our King, not our King of Pentacles, our Emperor, those two are buddies, by the way. These two guys are really close. They're very, very similar. So our Emperor is there in Sagittarius. It's a good place. It's a good placement. If it is a military presence, it's a good placement. There's something about rules, authority, but it's well aspected with this Ace of Cups in Scorpio. So yeah, it's kind of positive. Okay. Last one in our wheel, which is over here in Pisces. Let's see what is in Pisces. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. So another kind of happily ever after card. So cool, right? Look at this. If somebody came to me and said, and had these three cards together in their spread, I'd say, wow, weddings, and there's weddings and lots of weddings. Because this is like, do you see it? I'm going to show you. If you look on the tarot, there's not a lot of couple cards, but we got the major couple card, Two of Cups. We've got another couple card. See them going through the gateway like they're getting married under the bower of flowers. And then we've got another couple card, arm in arm with their family under the rainbow. You can't make this up, folks. So there really is a lot of uniting people. I heard uniting under the same banner. We are finding our tribe and our right relationships. And again, things are not always as they appear. So go slow and don't make hasty choices. It's pretty lovely, though. I mean, gosh, right? Let's count the swords. We've got 1, 2 swords. Not bad. That not a lot of overthinking. Again, look at that. Pause and rest your mind. Rest your mind. Swords, mind, pause, stop, sleep, rest. Wands, we have 1 wand, 2 wands, a 9 and a 4. So pretty average amount of energy. Again, we're really looking at relationships this week and reassessing, not with a critical eye, but with an observant eye. And then cups, we've got 2 cups, 1 ace of cups in Scorpio. Fantastic place for the ace. I mean, ace of cups is good anywhere, but Scorpio loves a good ace of cups. Scorpio is very happy about having the ace of cups there, I have to say, especially with the 2 of cups across from it in Taurus. Wow. Yep. Oh yeah, we have 3 cups. We got 1, 2, 3 cups. So a little bit more in the realm of the emotions. And they're all very healthy emotions too. We don't have that 7 of cups here or a 4 of cups or a 5 of cups. These are really strong cup cards. So emotions, heart opening. And then pentacles, we got 3 in a row here. The queen, the king, and the 6. So mastering, right? Because the court cards are about personality development, our character, our nature. And we have both the king and the queen are very, very masterful in the area of physicality, practicality, resources, money, material things. So really strong grounding energy this week. Hello. Yeah, right? I should say. Aw, hey tribe, would you be my Valentine? That's pretty sweet. Yeah. Okay. And let's put down the final integrator card. What is pulling all this together for us? Oh, another ace. Yes. Another ace. We love aces. We all love aces. All us tarot readers love them because they are, just going to try to straighten the camera here a bit. We love aces because they're renewal, a new fresh start, a new beginning, hopeful possibility, reset, refresh. So Ace of Pentacles is a gift, a reward, something tangible. And what I love about the Ace of Pentacles is it's not just any old gift. It's like the button that fits in the hole. It's the perfect thing. It's the thing you've been needing and wanting shows up. Just the right amount, not too much, not too little. And that is really a lovely feeling. And it's important not to look a gift horse in the mouth, meaning that you really say thank you this week. There's a lot of gratitude. Look at that, because we've got reciprocity, which also translates into gratitude in Virgo. Virgo is about health, habits, and how you manage your finances, right? Taurus is about accumulating your money. Virgo is about managing it. And then Capricorn is about setting your sights higher and investing it to do more, to work for you. So Taurus draws it in like the magnet, and Virgo organizes it like the accountant, and then Capricorn allocates it like the investor. So that's how the earth signs work together with resources, money, and so on. So it doesn't feel like the investment channel is very narrow at the moment. We're going through a narrow time investment wise. That's why metals are a safe bet, because the channel has just gone narrow. It's not going to stay narrow, folks. It's just we're going through a bit of that with material things. We're going through a bit of that eye of the needle. But Taurus is, I want to say, magnetizing for the right reasons. We're shifting the whole idea that we're drawing money in for money's sake. No. What's the use of having money for money's sake, especially when money is potentially going to be really worthless very soon? We don't want money for money's sake. We want to have the advantages that come with the lucrative flow of resource. That's what we want. We don't want money, or we don't want to just hoard money. We want to have access to this resource bank, this never-ending resource bank. Aw. Yeah. There's a portal with that ace. New beginnings. There's a portal. Yeah. I like to say, it's kind of like the pool ball in the hole, or the bowling ball, the lane at the end rolls down the lane. It's just, again, like things coming just at the right moment, and you've got a use for that, whatever that is, and you're going to apply it in a really good way. So it's not going to be too much that you then get in a rut and your wealth or your resources hold you hostage. It's just the right amount. It's like that sweet spot with your finances. There'll be more. There'll be more. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Lovely, lovely to share with all of you as always. Yeah, flow of resources. I am envisioning that too. There we go. I just had to move the table a little bit. And look at the colors today. It's quite balanced, isn't it? That's what I was going to say about the number of major and minor arcana. Well, actually, there's fewer major arcana than average. So that means, again, a lighter than average work week in terms of spiritual weightlifting. But there are balanced numbers of swords, wands, cups, and pentacles. We're a little light on swords, which is probably a good thing. We're a little light on swords and wands, which is the mental and the energy, which means we're resting more this week, taking her easy a bit. Oh, it is like a beautiful old-fashioned quilt. It does look like that. It's very colorful. What do they used to call those? Crazy quilts. Super colorful, a little of this, a little of that, and nothing really dark. Do you see that? I mean, the darkest coloring is down here in Leo with this King of Pentacles, but he's really about richness and resources and staying grounded. So, and magnetizing. So it's almost like you're turning the dial of your magnet meter up this week. Magnetize good things to you, not just money, opportunities, gifts in kind, rewards, blessings. Yes. All the colors ebb and flow. They do. They do. The yellows, the blues, a bit of red. Super beautiful. Super, super beautiful. Well, I'm pleased to see this. and it feels much brighter than last week. And I want to applaud all of you because we did something collectively last week. There were points along the week where I was like, this feels like a bit of a slippery slope. And then I was like, nope, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to get pulled down. I'm going to stay strong. And then as the week progressed, I felt as though we were getting aligned with a better version of the future. And I do believe that we are all participating in co-creating that. You know, we're not sticking our head in the sand and not wanting to see all the horrific things that are going on around us in this world. In fact, most of you are the people that look more at what's really going on in the world than the average person. We're really like the truth warriors. If we can take all that in, not internalize it and use it either to self-destruct or to go out and attack others, if we can metabolize that grief, that sorrow, all that dark energy, and turn it into something powerful, a beautiful, powerful medicine, a crazy quilt of possibilities, wow, anything is possible. And your contribution matters in a very, very big way. You're like one of the squares of that quilt. And without you, it has a hole in it, right? Without your piece, there's a piece missing. There's a hole in the fabric of reality. Play your little part. Put your little puzzle piece in the big picture. You matter. Well, you count. Once I did a really powerful shamanic journey and I came out of it and heard nothing matters, but everything counts. Yeah, nothing matters, but everything counts. You count. Your piece counts. It doesn't matter when or how. You know, you might fall off track again. It might take you a while to find your place in the fabric of our creative, co-creative dream vision here. But it will count. And every step you make in that direction also counts. So many blessings to all of you. Yeah, so many blessings. So let's go through our cards on the way out here. Of course, you can find me at Beyond Mystic Consultations. Use the coupon code below to receive an additional 10% discount on your reading. We've got a very interesting, beautiful Floraline Valentine's Day collection. I wanted to read this to you. Valentine's Day soaps made to celebrate love, warmth, and self-care. Each bar created with nourishing oils, rich butters, organic coconut milk, pure essential oils for a creamy, gentle lather that leaves skin soft and beautifully scented. I mean, I just have my Egyptian rose soap and I just smell it and it takes me somewhere. Takes me to Egypt. So incredible. So yeah, you can, let me just move to the next slide here. You can go on to the store, shop, and save 10% off with promo code BM10. Look at the name of these. Sun-Kissed Love, Rose of the Nile. Oh my gosh. I might have to get that one too in preparation for my Egypt trip. Okay, and then we also have this coming up, which is the Aquarius Eclipse Workshop with Astrid. It's live on February 15th at 11 a.m. Eastern. The future breaks open. This powerful astrology webinar explores the February 17th solar eclipse in Aquarius, a rare cosmic turning point marking the end of an old cycle and the emergence of something radically new. Interesting that that lines up directly with the fire horse here starting. So yeah, look at this subtotal $22 and you get a 10% discount automatically applied. So it's $20. Beautiful. What a beautiful investment. And here's our lovely Astrid. The code, I guess, is already being applied at the checkout, so you don't need to apply the code additionally. Wow. I wish you all such a beautiful week. Looking forward to the Fire Horse Year Valentine's week coming up here. Many blessings to all of you. We'll see you on the other side of it. Bye for now.